Hello,
Malak, good morning.
good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah, and you?
I'm okay. I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have to save our time. So let me share the screen and let's complete from the last
Mm.
point that we have discussed. So let me open the book and let's complete. This is it. So let me scroll down to the point that we have recently stopped. Okay. This is it. Let me mute my phone. Okay. So, and I have to make a little zoom in. Okay. Um, so I think the first thing we have discussed is read and complete. You have to complete the passage by writing the correct word. After that,
Sorry, can I say something?
yeah, absolutely.
I saw a video on YouTube for,
Mm.
I think his name is Luke.
Yeah, teacher, look,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
He said that there is change from May on Duolingo test. Like they remove read and complete, I think.
This is what,
Read
this is,
and select.
they,
Yeah, there.
mm, they removed read and complete. They
I
removed
will check it again,
read
but I
and
think
select.
read and select or read and
Yeah, I'm going to
complete.
check it too.
Mhm.
Yeah, let me just check that and research if this really happened or maybe no.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Absolutely. If they are removed, maybe they have changed the modules by other ones, maybe. By the way, I
Mm,
have to check this and I have to make sure if you are right or maybe not. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so, and after that, we have discussed the module of listen and select. Then we practiced the module of listen and type. You have to type the sentence that you are going to listen to, and don't forget the punctuation marks because they are really important. I'm sorry for the little noise. If you can hear this noise,
No,
I
it's
have
okay.
to, yeah, okay.
There is no, it's good.
So I think today we have to read, we have to discuss read aloud. So let me read the directions. After that, we have to discuss the tips and strategies you have to be careful of and keep them in your mind. After that, absolutely, there is going to be practicing for this module. So read aloud asks you to record yourself saying the statement below. So you have to record yourself saying a sentence, saying a statement. In this question type, you will read a written statement and then speak it out loud into your microphone. Absolutely,
Mm,
these are the directions for this question are going to be shown on the screen here. Don't forget that to do this module, Malak, you have only 20 seconds to finish saying or recording saying the statement or maybe sentence. Okay? So
okay.
this is the time that is going to be shown on your screen. And absolutely you have to record yourself saying the statement or the sentence below. Absolutely, the sentence is going to be written to you and you have to say it loudly. So this is the icon of recording. This icon is going to show you that it is recording, and after finishing recording yourself, recording saying the sentence or statement, absolutely you have to press next. Okay, now let me just show you some steps. Later on,
Can
I'm
I
going
hear the recording before sending or click to next?
to hear the recording.
Can I
Uh,
hear it?
no, you have to read the sentence loudly. Malak,
Mm,
the sentence is going to be written to you. Okay, you have to record yourself saying the written sentence
mm,
or statement.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay. So let me show you the tips that you don't have to forget. So if you have extra time or time, absolutely you have to practice speaking some sentences or statements once out loud before recording if you have time. We have to look at the punctuation marks. The punctuation marks in read and aloud, Malak, are really important. You have to be careful about your intonation, and you have to pause. For example, if you have a comma, if you have semicolon, you have to be careful about the intonation. If it is a question, for example, the intonation should be up, or if it is a normal statement, the intonation should be down. Or maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it is a surprising idea or statement or sentence. You have to be careful because the intonation is extremely important, and you have to keep in mind or you have to consider the punctuation marks because it is really important. By the way, we are going to practice that absolutely. So,
Yeah.
in this statement, to help you pace yourself, briefly pausing at each comma, for example. Okay?
Okay.
So you have to speak loudly. Absolutely, you have to speak clearly. Don't rush things up. Don't speak really fast. Don't speak too much slow because you have only 20 seconds. You have to speak
Mm.
clearly. Absolutely. All the words, please take this piece of advice, Malak. All the words should be pronounced clearly. I
Yeah.
suggest if there is an ing, for example, you have to pronounce the ing because I heard some students, for example, saying swimming instead of swimming. Keep in
Mm.
mind that because you are applying to a formal exam, this is swimming. You have to be formal. You have to be formal in writing and in speaking. So please be careful. You have to pronounce every single word clearly. I know that the nouns or the main verbs should be stressed and the articles shouldn't be stressed. For example, the prepositions, the articles should not be stressed. I'm not talking about articles of like, for example, like a and the. I'm not talking about the prepositions, for
Mm.
example, of, in, on, upon, or something like that. I'm talking about the main words, which are nouns, adjectives, adverbs, the main verbs. You have to pronounce them clearly. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So now you have, as I told you, you have 20 seconds to record yourself, and you only have one chance to record the statement. So, because some students think that they have a second chance or more than one chance just to repeat
Mm.
the recording or maybe to record themselves again. It's not like that. You have only one chance. So please, when you feel that you are ready, you have to record yourself. Keep in mind, please, Malak, that it is only one sentence, one statement. I suggest that you can finish saying this statement clearly in 10 seconds. So try to read the sentence first, because as I told you, it's only a statement, it's only a sentence. Try to read it in your mind first. Try to practice reading loudly in your mind every single word. When you are ready, you can do so in 10 seconds. When you're ready, you have to press the recording button and you can start recording yourself. So don't think that the 20 seconds is not enough. Believe me, the 20 seconds is more than enough. So please be careful.
Mm.
So
Okay.
when you're ready to record yourself about saying the statement or the sentence, you have to push recording and record yourself to start speaking. When you are finished the recording, you have to, as I told you, to press or click next, just to go to the next statement or maybe sentence. If you don't click next, the test will advance automatically when the time is off.
Mm.
Okay?
Okay.
So make sure to capture your full response in the recording, please. As I told you, everything should be said clearly because not only the Duolingo exam, the IELTS exam, TOEFL, SAT, OET, Duolingo, all of them are formal exams. You have to be careful and you have to, as I told you, say every word clearly. We are going to discuss that into details.
Mm.
So
Okay.
now let me show you the strategies about read aloud. This is read, no, this is read aloud. Okay. So Now, let's take a look at the strategies, and then absolutely we will have our enough time just to practice. So this is the exact screen that is going to be shown next to you. Okay, now what are the strategies or key points that we have to be careful of? Okay, so we know all of these. Okay, so the times, maybe let me tell you that some students asked me how many times this kind of a question or this module is going to be shown to me. It is around 7 times you have to do or manage this test or this form. Okay,
Mm.
the
Sorry,
26.
I'm not understand the first.
Ah,
Around 7 times of what? Of practices or
yeah, 7 times you have to do the module. For example, maybe you
seven
want
stances, seven
7,
sentences.
exactly 7 statements or 7 sentences. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to say this statement, for example, loudly. When you finish, press next to the next
Mm.
statement. You have to say it again loudly. When you finish, next. Approximately 7 times you have to do this module. Okay.
Okay.
In every statement you are going to say loudly, you have only, as I told you, 20 seconds to say the
Mm.
sentence. Now, you have to be careful about the literacy and conversation. Absolutely, we are going to discuss that. Now, the things that you have to be careful just for getting a good score is content, fluency, and the pronunciation. Absolutely, pronunciation is really important. Okay. Now, what about the content? What do I mean by content? Please, while saying the sentence loudly, Malak, do not add extra words. You have to say
Mm.
the exact words that are going to be shown next to you. And don't omit words or maybe skip some words because some students don't really know how to pronounce, for example, another. So they skip it just to read help, getting, then skip it to say only job, then they complete saying the sentence. Please don't do so, because if you want to do so, the meaning of the statement or sentence will be missing. This is something bad. And even don't replace, because some, as I told you, some students, because they don't know how to read, for example, this word job, maybe they want to say another synonym, for example, profession
Mm.
or occupation. So please don't do that, because this is reading aloud. This is
Yeah.
something wrong, absolutely.
Mm.
Okay. Now, what about fluency? What do I mean by fluency? So, as I told you before, especially in speaking, Malak, don't speak really fast and don't speak too much slow. So speak as if you are using your mother language, as if you are using your first language. Don't think that if you want to say the sentence loudly, you will be that a professional. Please, first of all, if
Mm.
you want to say the sentence fast, this is something bad, because maybe you will commit some mistakes while saying the sentence. For example, let's imagine that now you have to read this sentence loudly. So you have to say, if you need help getting another job, I'll help you with that. So notice how I said every word clearly without saying this statement really fast, and I didn't say this sentence really slowly, because this is something bad. So please don't hesitate and don't be afraid. As I told you, you have to speak as if you are using your first language. Okay?
Mm. Okay.
If you want to ask me if stress is really important or maybe rhythm, the rhythm is really important. I mean, by rhythm is the intonation that you have to use. If you have, for example, as I told you, exclamation mark or maybe question mark or surprising information, you have to be careful about your intonation, if it is up or maybe down, and the stress of the
Down.
words. If you want to ask me about what do I mean, what are the words that I have to stress saying, keep in mind that absolutely you have to stress saying the main verbs. For
Mm.
example, help, go, run, sleep, eat, watch. All these verbs are called main verbs. You have to stress saying the main verbs. For example, if you need help, so notice need is a main verb. Help is a main verb. Okay? Plus all the nouns. Job is a noun. You have to say it clearly. The words that you don't have or you don't have to stress are, as I told you, the articles, the determiners, the prepositions. You don't have to stress them at all. Absolutely,
Mm.
your speech should be connected. I mean, if you, this is conditional because this is conditional. We have a comma. I mean, you have to pause here, maybe 1 or 2 seconds maximum.
Mm.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. You have to say the two clauses as if one sentence. You don't have to pause, for example, for a long period of time because this is one sentence. Yeah, I know that there is a comma, but you have to be careful about the conjunctions or the clauses that you have in the sentence.
Mm.
Finally, be careful about pausing, especially if you have semicolon, colon, commas, or maybe a full stop. But because it is a statement, um, it is going to be one sentence approximately. So I mean the full stop is going to be at the end. But you have to be careful because maybe two sentences are going to be shown to you. But I don't think so. Okay, let me just go to the next information. So as I told you, the sentence stress, I don't know if everything, yeah, this is it. So this is what I mean by sentence stress. The content words that should be stressed are the main verbs, as I told you, like go, run, sleep, eat, watch. The nouns, all the nouns should be stressed, like car, music, marry. All the adjectives absolutely should be stressed. For example, wed, big, interesting. Can you say this adjective, Malak?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. This is what I mean by stress. Some Arab students, they stress the R.
Mm.
The stress is not. You don't have to stress the R letter. You have to stress the N. I mean, don't say interesting because, as I told you, I heard some students say like that. You have to say interesting. So the stress is on the N letter, not on the R letter. Yeah, so
Mm.
please be careful. For example, let me write another example just to show you what I mean. Can you read this word? Wait, let me write it down. Can you read it, please?
Account.
Bravo, this is account. Again, some students said, I heard some students said account. So the stress is not on the double C.
Mm.
Yeah, because some people think that if we have a duplicated or double letter, we have to stress it. It's not like this.
Mm.
Yeah, I know that sometimes we have to stress the doubled letters, but or the doubled letter, but not all the time. So please be careful.
How to
Uh,
know when I have to
we don't
stress?
have a fixed rule, to be honest, just to check that. This
Mm.
is the problem.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
announce. So notice that the Swiss is announce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have a fixed rule like names, for example.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The adverbs we have to say quickly, why, never, sometimes, usually, for example, often. All these or all the adverbs, adverb of time, adverb of place, they should be stressed. And all modal verbs or auxiliaries like verb to do, verb to be, modal verb,
Mm.
all of them should be stressed like do, does, did, was, with, is, can, could, will, would, shall, should. All of them are called modal verbs. Sorry, you have to pronounce them carefully, especially if they are negative. I mean, if this is can't. So because it is can't, you have to pronounce the not clearly. Because, for example, if you want to say that I can go, So if you want to say I can go, you have to be careful because can, for example, or can, sometimes if you don't stress or say the negative clearly, the listener maybe think that you are using the positive but not negative. So every not should be pronounced clearly. There is something you have to know, Malak. If the word is written in abbreviation, you have to say it as it is. You have to read what are written, what are exactly written. If can't like this, can't, and in the British accent they say can't. You have to say can't, but not cannot. Only you have to say cannot if it is really written like this, cannot. So be careful about abbreviations, okay? If it is written like this, you have to say cannot, but if it is written in abbreviation, you have to read what is written. Be careful.
Okay.
Now, the words that shouldn't be stressed, for example, pronouns like he, she, it, I, you, we, they. The prepositions, for example, like at, in, on, into, onto, between, beneath. The articles a and the conjunctions like although, nevertheless, nonetheless, otherwise. So all these words are called conjunctions. You don't have to stress them. And the auxiliary verbs, you don't have to stress, like do, does, did, only if they are in negative. If you want to ask me why, some students asked me, Malak, why the auxiliaries shouldn't be stressed, because the listener is sure that you know the verbs, you know the auxiliaries, and you know how to use them. So this is not that important to say the verb clearly. What is important is to mention or stress the noun, for example. So this is why you don't have to stress the auxiliaries. But as we noticed in the previous page, you have only to stress them if they are what? Negative. Okay?
Okay.
Now, what about fluency? So this is everything which is about fluency. Now, the content words are stressed, as I told you. Now, the function words are not stressed. Time between stressed words is about the same. So let me go now to the next page just to try to complete. Record yourself saying, do you know? So notice that know is a main verb. We have to stress it. Do is auxiliary. We don't have to stress that. You is a pronoun. You don't have to stress that. If is a conjunction. You don't have to stress that. He is a pronoun. You don't have to stress that. Is verb to be. You don't have to stress that. Only if it is negative. Busy is an adjective. Absolutely, it should be stressed. This, that, these, those. They don't have to be stressed. Morning, absolutely, you have to stress morning because it is an adverb of time. So these are the main words that should be stressed. Okay, now what about the connected speech? The connected speech means weak and strong forms of words, and we don't have to be careful about contractions. Please, if the sentence if the sentence includes contractions or abbreviations, you have to consider that. But if they are not, you don't have to say any sentence with using contraction if there is no contraction. And finally, it's about linking or maybe linking verbs. Okay. Now, the strong and weak forms of words, for example, it's about grammar words. Now, let's take a look at this sound, which is this one, which is a. So, for example, by saying but, you have to say but, can, have, and, an, the, this is it, and then.
Okay.
So yeah, be careful about the weak and the strong forms, especially if the if the letters are vowel letters like A.
Okay, so this forms, these words are weak forms, right?
Exactly. But be careful about the vowels. We know that we have 5 vowel letters. For example, car, if you want
Mm.
to, yeah, for example, if you want to add E letter at the end, so it is going to be a vowel letter. This is vowel. So you have to say A, the A should be stressed. For example, hat, absolutely. If you want to add the E letter at the end, it will be a vowel letter, which is A. The A should be stressed. Like cut,
Okay.
for example, this is a, like but. But if you want to add the letter E, it will be cute. So this is stressed, this is stressed, this is stressed again.
Mm.
Okay, so this is an example. So if you want to now read this sentence loudly, you have to say, Star Wars is good, but it isn't as good a movie as people say. So notice this is
Okay.
as, and absolutely but. This is a. Okay,
This
now,
is a Star Wars. We pronounce Wars. Star Wars.
yeah, the S plural should be pronounced clearly, Malak. Okay,
What the meaning of words?
wars, it's a
Words.
battle. Wars, it's a battle. Any
Oh, okay.
battle between, for example, 2 groups is called what? War, or maybe more than one group. Okay,
Mm.
battles. So Star Wars, wars.
Okay.
The S plural should be pronounced clearly, please, because this is grammar. If you don't pronounce the S plural clearly, the listener is going to think that you are using the singular. As I
Okay.
told you, be careful about the contractions. If it is she'd, you have to say she'd. If it is she would, you have to pronounce it as she would. We've, which is we have, it'd, which is it had, his, which is he is, I'll, which is I will, he's, which is he has. Okay?
Okay.
Now, the meaning of linking is the linking sounds between words. For example, you have to say Star Wars good. So notice if I want to say Star Wars good, now approximately I didn't pronounce the verb to be clearly.
Mm.
So this is, yeah, this is the meaning by linking. But, so notice if I want to say but, approximately, I didn't say the pronoun
So,
clearly. Exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So as good a movie, for example, so notice as good a movie, approximately or barely I pronounced the A. Okay.
Okay.
So good a movies, people say. So this is
Yeah.
the meaning, the linking sounds between words.
Between.
Because exactly you have to be that professional. Okay,
Mm.
don't forget pausing is really important. Especially you have to be careful because we have punctuation marks. Punctuation marks is extremely important because this is about pausing. Absolutely, because we have a comma, you have to pause maybe
Mm.
for 1 or 2 seconds. So you have to say, if you need help getting another job, I'll help you with that. So notice how I paused for one
Yeah.
or 2 seconds maximum because I
Good.
have a comma, please. This is
Mm.
really important. Pronunciation is really important. You have to pronounce the words clearly. Please don't try to change the pronunciation because sometimes if you want to change the pronunciation, maybe the meaning will be changed. Okay?
Okay.
So please, again, be careful because this is really important. Okay. Now, I think it's the time to practice. Now, before the real practice, I need you now to try to say this word loudly, please.
Okay.
Wait. Yes.
Can I start?
Please.
If I had known about the party, I would have come.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Thank you for pausing for 1
Yeah,
second
okay.
here. Exactly. So this is past perfect. And this is a preposition. Sometimes you don't have to stress the prepositions.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is
But I
amazing.
can't do the comparison between
Comparison.
stress words and other
Uh,
words. And
again,
how to know it's a stress word?
is a stress word.
Yeah, how to
Uh,
know? I think here
uh,
known is a stress word.
yeah, noun is the main verb because it is the main verb. It should be stressed. Had is not a main verb. It is auxiliary. It shouldn't be
Mm.
stressed. If is what?
Conditional.
Yes.
Conditional.
Oh,
Mm.
bravo. It is a conjunction. It shouldn't be stressed. I is a pronoun. It shouldn't be stressed. About
Mm.
is a preposition. It shouldn't be stressed. So if you want to ask me now, the only words that should be stressed, first of all, you have to stress known because it is a main verb. This is number one. The
Mm.
party should be stressed. It is a noun.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
I is a pronoun. It shouldn't be stressed. Would is a modal verb. It shouldn't be stressed only if we have negative. Have
Okay.
is, yeah, have is auxiliary. You shouldn't have to stress it. But come is a main verb. You have to stress that. So notice that the only three words should be stressed in this sentence are known, the party, and come.
Okay.
So can you
Like
please
the
read?
main idea of a
Mm,
sentence
exactly.
or
Yeah. So don't forget all the time, Malak. Adverbs, adjectives, nouns. Okay. And main verbs should be stressed. Plus the verbs that we have negative with them, like don't. Okay. Like
okay.
shouldn't, don't, mustn't. Can you
Mm.
please read the sentence again?
If I had known about the party, I would have come.
Yeah, exactly. So if I had known about the party, I would have come. Exactly. And don't forget the linking
Mm.
words. So notice that if I had known about the
Okay.
party, yeah, the party. Okay, exactly. I have to pause. So these are the three words, as I told you, that should be stressed, which is
Mm.
the orange color. So
Yeah.
I've now my piece of advice: if the abbreviation is not written, don't use it, please.
Mm.
This is formal exam. This is formal. Okay. Now I think it is the time to practice. But
Okay.
before doing that, I suggest to disconnect the meeting because I want to publish this video and I want to name it as discussing the strategies about reading aloud. And the next video, I'm going to name it as practicing this.
Practice. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So please now let's disconnect this meeting and come back
Mm.
again. I'm waiting for you.
Okay.
Okay.